Hello friends and welcome to the K-Drama review. I'm Mercy and this is where we talk about K-dramas. The drama we're going to be talking about today is Mystic Pop-Up Bar, also known as 쌍갑포차. Mystic Pop-Up Bar tells the story of a 포장마차. I don't know if that's correct or not because I don't have Hangul and it's just a romanized version. 포장마차, a pop-up bar run by a woman named 월주 who uses the bar to help settle the grudges of 100,000 souls in exchange to save her baby's soul, also to give her a chance at reincarnation. She's joined by part-timer Kangbae, who people spill their guts to when he touches them, who we also find out later is 월주's baby's soul reincarnated but also cursed by the sacred tree. It's kind of confusing, and not gonna lie, I was confused the first time I watched it, and I had to re-watch some scenes and realize that I kind of just didn't pay attention to when they explained it. I must have just missed that part because I was like really confused when that first happened. They're also joined by former Afterlife detective turned 월주 assistant Goe Pang장님, who we also come to find out is 월주's past boo and father of Kangbae's soul. Together, the three of them visit customers in their dreams to help resolve their grudges and other shenanigans that happen along the way, which we also know is like a lot of shenanigans. This wonderful drama blessed our screens thanks to JTBC and ran from May 20, 2020 to June 25th of 2020. The show only has 12 episodes. I'm not gonna lie, I was slightly disappointed that there was only 12. K-dramas are usually about 16 episodes, so I thought 12 was kind of weird. Mystic Pop-Up Bar is actually based off of a webtoon by the same name. It's also known as Twin Tops Bar, I think. I will not be commenting on the accuracy of the adaptation though, because I have not read the webtoon. So this Korean drama was directed by Jeon Chang-gun, who is also known for The Package, What Happens to My Family, and Queen of the Office. The show was written by Ha Yuna, who I think is a rookie writer because I wasn't able to really find anything about her or any previous works. So as a rookie, I thought she did an amazing job. The writing was really good. The webtoon that Mystic Pop-Up Bar is based off of was written by Bae Hye-soo. If you cried while watching Goblin, you will most definitely cry watching this as well. I have some trust issues with Netflix. I don't really like Netflix's summary of this show, how they tag things. They're just very generic and kind of bland. Honestly, you really feel like we could do way better. So let me pull it up. Netflix. Don't really like Netflix's summary of this show. It makes it seem like the show is mostly focused on Kangbae, while he is considered a main character. The story is mostly about 월주 and her journey. Netflix's summary on the website right now says a young man with a unique ability begins working for a centuries-old bar owner who resolves her customers' emotional troubles by entering their dreams. This isn't really like a vague summary. This is more misleading than anything in my opinion. I feel like this frames it as it's going to be mostly about Kangbae, which it's not. I mean, if you really think about it, we don't even find out that much about him and his past besides some flashbacks here and there. Mystic Pop-Up Bar currently has the genre tags K-drama based on a webtoon, fantasy TV show, and Korean TV show, and that's it. Which is okay, but I feel like we could add a few more. Personally, I think adding tags like historical TV show, comedy drama, paranormal, supernatural TV show, and most importantly, mystery. This show rides so much on mystery. How could they not put it in? It seems really weird that they didn't put mystery in. The mystery is real and there's a lot of stuff that you figure out along the way, and it really is what makes the show that much more interesting to me. So I can't believe they didn't put mystery in. We have another section that is like, this show is. These for K-dramas are just so weird. Sometimes it's only like one word, and other times it's kind of things that just doesn't feel like it really encapsulates the whole drama. Netflix currently has this show is tags as quirky, heartfelt, and feel good. I feel like that this just doesn't do the show justice. This show is witty and humorous. This show is heart-wrenching. This show is an emotional roller coaster, honestly, of life, death, and everything in between, and everything that makes people people. I actually was super excited that I knew a lot of the people who were going to be in this drama from previous dramas that I was also a big fan of, so I was really looking forward to this. Hwang Jung-eun plays Wolju. She's also in other dramas such as Secret Love, Heal Me Kill Me, She Was Pretty, and so many more. She's also known as the comedy queen of K-dramas. If you have not heard of Hwang Jung-eun, I definitely recommend that you check her out. She's one of my favorite comedic actresses. Next is Yuk Sung-jae. He plays Hang Kang-bae, and he's in other popular dramas including School 2015, Goblin, and The Village. I don't know how to say that. Achiara's Secret. Kwe Pang-jang-nim is played by Choi Won-young. He's also known for dramas such as Sky Castle, Hwarang, and Dr. Prisoner. Honestly, both the acting and writing in this drama was just amazing. Not just the main characters, but the supporting characters also did such a good job too. The chemistry between the three leads is so good and organic. It honestly really feels like that by the end they formed their own little family. It really hit me because the whole chosen family kind of trope in K-dramas, it happens kind of a lot in K-dramas, but that's one of those tropes that I am just a really big fan of. I really vibe with it. Also, kind of surprisingly, I was a fan of Kang-bae and Yoren's relationship. In the beginning of the drama, I honestly didn't know what was going to happen or what kind of a romance it would be. It was one that ended up being so pure and wholesome. The past few dramas I've watched have been a little on the edgier side, a more mature side, so it was definitely a change of pace to see this pure and wholesome love, and honestly it was what I needed. I was simping so hard after everyone. Before I started rewatching this drama for my notes, I totally forgot about the whole main villain aspect. I watched this drama around the time when it first came out on Netflix, and I wanted to rewatch it to make sure that my notes were thorough. I felt so bad for completely forgetting about the main villain in this drama because I completely forgot that he was a thing. These Souls stories are what stuck with me the most, and not really Won-hyung's daddy issues and childhood friend killed him for trying to start an uprising issues. But as soon as I started rewatching this drama, I remembered how great of a job he did, and it reminded me how much I hated his character the first time around I watched it. Each soul was so unique in the trauma that they held. It really made you feel for them like they were the main characters. I did find it super interesting that not everybody that they helped was a victim. Sometimes it was somebody who would typically be considered a villain if it were any other drama. I specifically think to one of the earlier episodes with the mom who isn't really the mom. She would definitely be considered a villain in Dramaland, but at the end, the way that the daughter cries over her is just so raw and heartbreaking. I also just want to point out how great of a job that this actress did. It honestly feels like she just let everything go and you just want to cry with her. I'm a sap. I also really liked how each soul that they helped somehow tied into Wolju and Kwe Pang-jang's past. I'm also a really big fan of the directing, so I'm just gonna go ahead and highlight some of my favorite scenes. The ghost in the mirror shot where they're sitting around the tent kind of talking. Kwe Pang-jang's action scenes were honestly just so cool. I would love to see him in an action movie or a TV show soon. Also the plot twist in episode 5, they played me, okay? And I loved it. The BTS reference. The whole girls' night, it just makes you feel good. It makes you feel like you went with them and you also had a girls' night with them. It's great. I also like the fake dream that they show. The fake dream. I also really like the fake movie that they show in it, because first time I saw it, I thought it was really funny that they included it and it seemed so weird. I realized that this whole thing is just to show how alienated Yorin and Kangbei feel, because everybody else in the theater of this movie is laughing because they think it's funny, and then Kangbei and Yorin are crying, and at first you think they just think it's really sad, but then you're like, no, this is like exactly what they go through on a daily basis. If Kangbei touches anybody, it creates a whole situation for himself that he's wildly uncomfortable being in. And the same thing with Yorin. If she touches anybody that she really likes, they immediately get super creeped out and leave her. Rewatching this scene again really made me feel for them. I also like that the comedy wasn't overly cheesy for K-drama standards. K-dramas can be like extremely cheesy. Really, it balanced each other so well that by the time I finished the episode, I wasn't thinking about how extremely sad one thing was and how extremely funny the other thing was. I was kind of like, that was a roller coaster. And I also thought that they had great comedic timing too. Some of the scenes were just so funny. One of my favorite episodes is just the entire conception dream episode. It really is my favorite just because I feel for the main protagonist so much. It definitely resonated with the want and need to have children, but there are some really funny parts in it, like the conception dream claw machine and the whole chase scene where they throw around the peach. I had a really hard time choosing which footage to include because so much of it made me laugh so hard. Also, Kangbei's transformation, I knew he was connected. I was like thanking everybody that he was not the king reincarnated, because I really felt that Wolju and Kangbei had more of a mother-son kind of relationship, more than like a lover's kind of relationship. Wolju and Kwangjang, though, they were like heart vibes all the way. It was so satisfying when he just like pushed Wonhyung out of his body, out of his father's body, and you were just like, yes. One of my favorite things about this show is how bluntly they tackle hard topics like sexual assault, the murderous power of words, discrimination of class and of things that people can't control, how misunderstandings can utterly ruin relationships, and so much more, especially with the first episode being about sexual assault. I was honestly kind of blown away at how bluntly they addressed it. Sometimes dramas just allude to the idea or skirt around the issue entirely. So I was really surprised that they showed it so you could obviously see what was happening and how it affected her, you know? Just because he doesn't do anything worse than this doesn't mean that this can't also be traumatizing. I also liked that you feel like there's a good message that you get at the end of each episode. At the same time, it showed viewers the power of kindness, how to let go, how to move on, and so much more. I honestly liked the ending. I feel like with K-dramas, endings are really like 50-50. They're either really, really good or they're like not great. Because the whole series is building up to something, and typically K-dramas don't get a second season. A majority of the viewers, if they've watched K-dramas before, know that this is most likely the end. When we get to the ending, we're hoping for everything to be tied up nicely. Sometimes there's just not. I really thought that this ending was fitting for the character because her whole goal throughout the series was to be reunited with her baby, and I am very glad that she didn't get reincarnated, because then she would have to start all over and look for her baby again. When she already has found her baby, Kangbei's already here, and he already knows that, you know, they're family. I like that they say that Wonhyung is sent to jail because you literally never see him after he gets dropped into the pit. I don't know why they would just skim over him like this and give him an ending that's just in dialogue and not show him when he literally caused so much trouble for the main leads and had such an impact on the story. Like, why? I don't know. But at least they said something about it and didn't ignore him completely. Also, that they brought Kwangjang back. It was kind of weird though that they showed him like being stabbed and dying, and he looked like Thanos just snapped him, but he like blew away. I'm honestly not super sure why they included that scene if he was just going to come back like 5 minutes later and reunite with Wolju again. In the moment it worked really well, but looking back on it, it's kind of confusing why they would put you through all of that and then just bring him back like 2 seconds later. Another thing I was kind of confused about was the subconscious. In episode 2, they talk about how if you fall down, you just kind of fall into like infinite nothingness.
그래서 까딱했다간 영혼이 암흑 속으로 떨어지는 거니까. 끝도 없이 떨어지다 자아도 영혼도 사라진다고 들었어.
영혼의 블랙홀이라고나 할까?
I wish they just would have explained the rescue a little bit more, since falling down the center of the staircase is like a big no-no and something that they were all very scared of. So it's kind of weird to me that after all that hype, they just like dismiss it through dialogue. I don't know why, they just kind of glossed over it in the end and it felt kind of rushed. And of course, I wish it had more episodes. I honestly really think if it had more episodes that they would probably go into more detail about how they rescued Wolju, and it wouldn't just be something that they kind of say in passing conversation. I'm kind of sad that they didn't really use the reincarnated queen for anything. I feel like they could have done so much more with her. I mean, she was like really there and really trying to change. She knew she'd messed up and that she really wanted to make it right. And then they just kind of killed her off. I was really rooting for her to have some kind of redemption arc. I also understand why they killed her, since it kind of like kickstarts the whole ending into motion. I also just kind of feel weird about Yoren's character. They built it up like she was going to be really important, and she was, as like the cinnabar. They made Yoren such a good combo of like, she will beat you up, but she also wants to watch rom-coms. I was really hoping that they would use her badassery more in the final episode, but I'm glad that they at least included her to kick some butt, you know? That was also cool. Another thing, I really liked the cinnabar, but it does make me frustrated that she never like gets revenge on him. Wonhyung literally killed her. And all they did was have a girls' night and tell her to like let it go. And in the final episode, they use Yoren to take down some bodyguards. Yoren was like right there, beating up the bodyguards. It would have been so cool if she just burst into that warehouse. Also, Cinnabar popped out, ready to throw hands and like get some revenge. Ugh, I feel like it was a missed opportunity. That would have been so cool. If you like this show, you'd probably like some other shows like Goblin, A Korean Odyssey, Hoja de Luna, Flip Bride of Habeck, Let's Fight Ghost. If you haven't seen any of those already, I definitely recommend those. Mystic Pop-Up Bar is a great watch and it's a great option. So what did you guys think about Mystic Pop-Up Bar? What was your guys' favorite soul story? I'd love to talk about this drama with you guys in the comments, so leave a thought down below and let's chat.